Good day, everyone. It is a new day to start and to learn something about literacy. Yes, that is not only beneficial for you but also for everybody that surrounds you. The previous groups have already discussed the different literacies, the seven literacies, which are the digital literacy, information literacy, media literacy, multimodal literacy, social cultural literacy, financial literacy, and creative arts literacy. So, we, the group 8, are about to discuss the last literacy. You're right. So, the literacy that we are about to discuss for today is ecological literacy. So, ecological literacy refers to an individual's understanding not only of ecological concepts but also of his or her place in the ecosystem. It is according to Mina and Allison 2009. So, no, to be ecoliterate, it is not only knowing the different concept ecologically, the ecosystem, the human being, the other living organism. It is also no, it is about knowing your place in that ecosystem. It is very important for us humans that we have to consider and we have to know our place in the ecosystem, because if we know unsa ato ang place in that ecosystem, we we can realize no what are the things no nga dapat natong buhaton o dili nato dapat buhaton. For example, um, most of us ang way of living or way of kanang pagkakitaan is through or by nature. For example, the fishermen's no ang atong fishermen's, they have a lot of equipments na sila lain-laing pamaagi on how to have an income no using the nature or the sea that we have. And no naay uban nga mga fisherman who uses the illegal bitaw nga butang in order to have an income, no, in order to have kanang profit out of that kanang naturally provides ato. It is by using no kanang dynamite, illegal nga kanang kanang pagkuha og mga fish. And by that no kanang that is why no, it is very important na kabawta sa atong place in our ecosystem for us to know the consequences of our actions no, sa mga dapat natong buhaton o dili nato dapat buhaton in our ecosystem, in our environment. Also, the term ecological literacy was first introduced by David Orr in 1989 in his essay Ecological Literacy. He also indicated no, that knowing, caring, and practical competence form the foundation of ecological literacy. So, in ecological literacy, in knowing our environment, no, para naatay kanabitang knowledge about our environment, according to Orr, it is not only by knowing the different concepts, no, it is also by kanabitang taking care of our environment, taking part of sa atong environment and also no making an action no kung unsa ang dapat atong buhaton to preserve and also to kanabitang um to take good care of our environment, not only sa ato ang generation but also to the next generation ahead of us. Mo na siya ang kanabitang foundation of ecological literacy. Mo na dapat natong makatunan in this literacy no. It is knowing, being aware of the things that have been happening in our society, in our environment, and also taking good care of our environment, making an action out of that crisis that have been happening in our ecosystem. So he also pointed out that the root of environmental crisis is the inability to think about ecological pattern systems of causation and long-term effects of human actions. So no, because some of us kanang wala bitaw ani nga literacy, we are not able to educate ourselves with this kind of literacy no. Ang root, ang hinungdan sa environmental crisis like the kanang disasters no that have been happening in our world is that we haven't been kanang bitong educated about the different ecological patterns. Wata ka ba og unsay kanang bitong kanang system sa kanang disaster, wata ka ba unsay kanang bitong long-term effects of certain human actions. For example, magsunog taw basura, maglabay taw mga kuan. Ang ato lang is that we ato nang buhaton because wata laing kabutangan or watay kanang no, it is very vital and it is very essential no nga natay proper and appropriate knowledge, natay enough knowledge about our ecological literacy. That is why no, this literacy is very important no. Dapat di na to siya neglect, di na nato kana bitawng pasagdan nga kana bitawng di lang mi maminaw ninyo about that ecological literacy because wala na kabaw na mi about the things in our environment. No, it is very it is very important no nga makibawta sa kanang different patterns unsay principles bitaw sa nature, unsay mga angay buhaton or dili angay buhaton when it comes to natures. So no, as we discuss this ecological literacy, may bawa na to kung sa mga dili angay ug angay buhaton unsay bitay kana bitong principles sa nature. According to Orno, an ecologically literate person no understands the dynamics of unsay bitay patterns, unsay hinungdan, cause and effects of the environmental crisis that have been happening. Og may bawa na to ba, we are aware that we humans are one of the reasons why that environmental crisis kanang nahitabo siya, nganong nahitabo na because of us no. Dapat may waluan nato of how bitaw destructive we are towards the nature, towards our environment. So according to Kayaglo, no, he stated that the positive attitudes and values towards the environment are accord with a good knowledge. So if a person have that care sa nature, na siya positive attitudes and values towards the environment, it means no nga kanang naa siya proper knowledge, na kanang he or she is educated no enough and is aware no of the things, that different effects of that actions nga iyang gibuhat towards the environment. That is why it is very important pud sa ato ano nga mahibaluan ni nga literacy para natay positive attitude, natay positive values, na ato mahatagan og importance bitaw unsa ka importance ang nature sa ato ay humans, because of course no, we all know that nature is very important. Naging relationship ang humans og nature, because we humans, we badly needed the nature no nga gihatag sa Ginoo sa ato, because no, without the nature wala ta, because according scientifically speaking, the plants no, the different trees gives us the oxygen that we needed. That is why it's very important no natay proper knowledge, natay good knowledge about this kind of literacy, the ecological literacy. Also no, developing environmentally responsible behavior requires correct knowledge about climate change. No, of course no, in developing in order for us to be responsible, to have that responsible behavior, dapat natay correct knowledge o unsa man gyud ning climate change. Unsa hinungdan sa climate change, di ini lagi kanang climate change, the cause of global warming. No, that is why na important to no, dire na ko na realize o unsa gyud ka important ang kanang science. Bisan pa man sa katong when we were kanang in the primary no, the primary education of kanang the everything in the ecosystem. No, that is why no, it is important no about say cause about that global warming, the different carbon emissions and carbon footprints. Dapat hibaw taon sa natay proper o correct knowledge about the certain things para for us, in order for us no nga natay kanang responsible behaviors atong environment. Ecological literacy is meant to enable conscious and participant citizens to make informed decisions or take action on environmental um, issues. So, no, this literacy helps us citizens, helps us participants no nga we are aware no makibawat, we are conscious enough not to make informed decision or take action no in different environmental issues nga nahitabo sa tong kalibutan. No, sama sa akong giingong ganina, sige na ko kanang ano balik-balik the importance of having this kind of literacy, because no, nature is kanang very vital sa ato ang mga tao. That is why it is important no nga we individuals, humans no nga nagamit or kanang nagdepend pod sa nature, is we are conscious and we are aware, and also we are a participant of different kana bitong environmental actions, different activities that involves no kanang tree planting, sa pa ani kanang coastal cleanup, no little things no nga ato mabuhat for our nature. So characterizing an ecoliterate person, Dr. Tom Hook, 2002 of Lakehead University, characterized an ecologically literate person of the 21st century as the responsible, lifelong learners who strives to improve the human condition. So no, in this part, no, we are about to characterize kung unsa man gud ni ang ecoliterate person, kung unsa man gud ni individual, unsay character of that ecoliterate person, og dapat no may balo, og dapat no nga we have to acquire this kind of characteristic. Dapat makatunta in the different characteristic of ma-acquire na to atong ma-apply sa atong kaugalingon in order for us not to help our environment. So the first one is an ecoliterate person should be an inquirer. who actively secures the basic skills and knowledge in order to carry out ecological responsibilities. This also enables her to reach her own potential and place in the physical and natural environment. So, usa sa kanang pinakanindot nga character sa usa ka eco-literate person is that no kanang kabaw ka sa basic skills. No, the first thing man gyud sa nga for us to help the environment is to be aware of the different kind of bitang do's and don'ts of nature, the different kind of dili ang buhaton no, and that about dapat about basic skills and knowledge about the environment for us to be eco responsible, about for us to be kanang responsible ba ecologically. So the next one or the second one is an ecoliterate person should be a reflective learner who understands the value and limitations of human knowledge, the power and limitation of natural world, the role of institution in real life pursuits, and the role of self as it is manifested in one's personal narrative. So no, it is also important no to have this characteristic no dapat libawta og unsa bitay limitations sa nature ug unsay mahatag ka sa nature sa atoa, and we should not kanang pugos the nature nga ihatag sa atoa. Dapat kabaw taw unsay limitations ra di inra kutob ang nature mga maka-provide sa atoan. Also it is important no in this characteristic dapat no makabaw ta sa role nato o role sa institution that we have in our life pursuits no dapat kabaw ta og kanang as human beings no, because the world na ay different institution nga na-assign like sa school, na-assign sa environment, dapat in that kanang institution makabaw siya og unsa ilang role, makabaw sila unsa ilang role sa ecosystem sa atong environment, and also sa atong kagalingon no to be a reflective learner dapat makabaw ta og unsa ato ang role is a human being who is dependent to the nature and who kanang nagkinahanglan jud ka stand ba sa nature. Dapat makabaw ta ana nga kanang characteristic, dapat we know that the nature na siya limitation, we are aware no, dapat we are aware nga kanang kita as human being, even even in the kanang little things ra bitaw makabaw ta ba nga kanang ako ning buhaton even little ra ni, dili ko magsunog plastic, dili ko maglabay basura sa dagat, ano mo tabang ko sa tree planting no, in that way no makatabang ta makakuan ta sa ato ang environment, maka-help ta. So the next one is to be morally responsible, who governs action with precepts, responsibility, seeking justice and equality for all that maintain harmonious relationship. So the next one is intelligently self-directed, who engages in self-appraisal, sets new learning objective, develops plan to achieve those objectives, carry out those plans in flexible inquiry-directed manner, and reflect on the whole process. Since no ang school dako jud na siya part no in imparting knowledge sa mga students, to be intelligently self-directed dapat no dili nakasultian of the things that you should do no nga kan to help our nature, to help the different crisis. Dapat ikaw sa imong kagalingon you already have that objective, you have that purpose no na dapat idea no kanang about unsa imong dapat buhaton, unsa imong mahatag, that usa mo na ang usa ka characteristic sa intelligently self-directed nga kanang kuan eco-literate person. Dapat kanang dili na kaangay sultian ba nga you have to do this, you have to tree plant and na you have to kanang mo apil ka mo join ka this and that activities. Dapat ikaw sa imong kagalingon kibaw na kung unsa imong buhaton, even you're in our in our little kuano kanang actions, dapat kibaw na ta of the things that we should do. So the next characteristic of an ecologically literate person is that you are ecologically responsible, who embodies ecological ideals in the daily life. So sa akong ipang mention ganyan no, to be ecologically responsible no, even in our daily lives makabaw ta of kanang different kana bitaw ato matabang sa atong ecology natay ideas no. For example in kanang sa ato ang everyday life no, as kanang magluto ta, we don't use kanang plastics ina na ba, even in our simple things no in our daily life makatabang ta. That is one of the characteristic of ecologically responsible person. So the next one is characteristic is to seek self-transcendence. It who moves beyond the limitation of personal ego by identifying with human groups, the past and future, flora and fauna, ecosphere that transcend the individual's life in scope and time. So in this no, you go beyond what you can do. In this kind of characteristic, you just don't kind of tend ka magstay put o unsay gi provide sa imo, unsay gi inject nga knowledge sa imo about our our environment, but to seek beyond what you can do, you have to kanang study more about ecology and the different crises that have been happening sa atua, and you do and you move beyond that limitation that you have, no, usa na siya sa kanang characteristic na dapat tong makatunan is ecologically person. So the ecologically literate person of the 21st century has a positive view of life grounded in the faith of interconnectedness, and has the capacity to completely perform significant life work and related tasks. Such a view enables her to look upon the human experience positively and all living things compassionately. So that ends my part, and I hope that we have learned something about this topic, literacy, and the different characteristic of an ecoliterate person. Thank you.
So, good day once again, everyone. So, my name is Clint Arranchado, and I will be the next reporter or speaker for our assigned topic, the ecoliteracy. So, my assigned topic for our team is all about the ways to develop ecoliteracy in school. So, before we dig into my assigned topic, let's talk about first what is this ecoliteracy. So, more somewhat familiar na gid siya, no? So, the ecoliteracy is the short term for the ecological or for the word ecological literacy, which means it is the ability to understand the natural systems that makes life on earth possible. So it really will be talking about the uses of those principles for creating sustainable human communities. So a growing number of educators feels the need to foster learning that genuinely prepares young people for the ecological challenges presented by this entirely unprecedented time in human history. Thus, the goal is to raise students with an important perspective called socially and emotionally engaged eco-literacy. So, no, a growing numbers of educators feel the need to foster learning. So, unsa man kisa nato mga kuan sa mga teachers. So, of course, those are the students. So, the goal is to raise the students with an important perspective kuno no, called the socially and emotionally engaged eco-literacy. So, unsa man ni siya? So, it is a process. The goal is to raise students important perspective called that offers the antidotes of fear, anger, and hopelessness, which results from inaction. Hence, the act of engaging in ecological challenges on whatever scale is possible or appropriate. It develops strength, hope, and resiliency among young people. So, mo ni siya ang usa sa gi-promote, no? It develops strength, hope, and resiliency among young people. The developing of this eco-literacy. So, in this case, eco-literacy is founded on a new integration of emotional, social, and ecological forms of intelligence. Di ba? As we all know, sa usa sa mga or murag ang basic nga murag kung naata sa eskwelahan, like magkuan ra gyud siya sa cognitive, and it could be the experience of the students. So now murag gi-integrate nila sa mga teachers or mga educators the social, emotional, and the ecological forms of intelligence sa saka estudyante. So while social emotional intelligence extends students' abilities to see from another's perspective, empathize, and show concern, so ang ecological intelligence applies these capacities to understanding of natural systems and cognitive skills with empathy for all of life. So, di ba, sa social and emotional intelligence, like, normally, di ba, sa mga kuan gani, like, for example, sa nakay friends, so, murag, nag-share siya og experience sa imuha. So, murag na kay sympathy or empathize ra ba? But, the problem is, murag ka mura sa duha ang naka-feel sa katunga murag feelings or iyan na shared nga experience. So, sa ecological intelligence, kung unsa ang iyang na-feel ato, like, muna siya nga, murag, i-apply sa nimo siya sa different organisms or mga living things nga nagpuyo diri sa kalibutan. So, muna siya ang usa sa murag i-promote aning developing ecoliteracy. Murag ang students or the young people are promote nga mo empathize or sympathize sa mga different living things. So, muna siya ang sa ecological intelligence. So, by weaving these forms of intelligence together, ecoliteracy builds success from reduced behavioral problems to increased academic achievement to foster social and emotional learning. So, to help educators foster socially and emotionally engaged ecoliteracy, the following are identified practices in age-appropriate ways for students. So mo na siya na murag makatabang kuno sa educators to emotionally engage in ecoliteracy. So nay mga practices nga gi-identify nga murag appropriate para sa kanang edad sa mga students. So ranging from pre-kindergarten through adulthood. So it helps promotes the cognitive and affective abilities with the integration of emotional, social, and ecological intelligence. Di ba murag makabantay man ta like for example pag high school nato no like murag dili lang siya about jud sa kanang murag tree planting program murag inana ba like so muna siya ang usa sa murag mga practices or mga gi-promote sa usa ka eskwelahan nga murag naay kanang uh, ecoliteracy nga murag kuan ba ways nila on how to save Mother Earth. Minana nga mga programs ba like relate to the nature or to save Mother Earth. So mo na siya ang usa sa mga murag na promote sa eskwelahan and help educators to be engaged in the ecoliteracy or the young people, especially the young people. So there are 5 ways on how to develop ecoliteracy in school. So first is the develop empathy for all forms of life. So by recognizing the common needs we share with all organisms, we can extend our empathy to consider the quality of life of other life forms, feel genuine concern about their well-being, and act on that concern. So mo na siya no, i-develop good ang empathy for all forms of life. So mo ni siya ang usa sa mga gi-promote sa ecoliteracy like we have to be conscious nga like kanang atohang gipagabuhaton is or atong buhaton is dili siya kanang grabe og effect sa Mother Earth ba or sa mga katong mga living things. So as we all know no nga murag heavy na jud kaayo karon ang kanang kuan sa global warming. So murag inana ba like simple things gani nga mga action like we have to be conscious or we have to have to be cautious sa mga ato ang mga actions like we should think before we click. So mo na siya po sa murag idea aning develop empathy for all forms of life. So next we have the embrace sustainability as a community practice. So by learning the wondrous ways that plants, animals, and other living things are interdependent. Students are inspired to consider the rule of interconnectedness within their communities and see the value in strengthening those relationships by thinking and acting cooperatively. So, na siya no? Kanang murag, like, di ba, like, sa science nato, like, we are taught sa kanang kuan jud no sa kanang murag pagtubo sa usa ka plants like how unsa the ecoliteracy or the young people, especially the young people. So there are 5 ways on how to develop ecoliteracy in school. So first is the develop empathy for all forms of life. So by recognizing the common needs we share with all organisms, we can extend our empathy to consider the quality of life of other life forms, feel genuine concern about their well-being, and act on that concern. So mo na siya no, i-develop good ang empathy for all forms of life. So mo ni siya ang usa sa mga gi-promote sa ecoliteracy like we have to be conscious nga like kanang atohang gipagabuhaton is or atong buhaton is dili siya kanang grabe og effect sa Mother Earth ba or sa mga katong mga living things. So as we all know no nga murag heavy na jud kaayo karon ang kanang kuan sa global warming. So murag inana ba like simple things gani nga mga action like we have to be conscious or we have to have to be cautious sa mga ato ang mga actions like we should think before we click. So mo na siya usa sa murag idea aning develop empathy for all forms of life. So next we have the embrace sustainability as a community practice. So by learning the wondrous ways that plants, animals, and other living things are interdependent, students are inspired to consider the role of interconnectedness within their communities and see the value in strengthening those relationships by thinking and acting cooperatively. So na siya no kanang murag like di ba like sa science nato like we are taught sa kanang kuan jud no sa kanang murag pagtubo sa usa ka plants, like how unsaon pagbuhi sa plants, like we should water, they should be exposed to sunlights. So mga inana ba, like murag gi tudlo sad gyud siya para if ever, like we know how to approach, or we know how to handle different situations nga mahitabo gani para sa in saving those kinds of moments nga murag mahitabo sa ato ang life ba within that situation nga pwede siya mahitabo sa ato. So mo na siya nga through the embrace sustainability as a community practice, like we should have an empathy or sympathy towards the plants and the different living organisms. So number 3 is make the invisible visible. If we strive to develop ways of living that are more life alarming, we must find ways to make visible the things that seem invisible by using web tools such as Google Earth, Google Good Guide, and Food Educate apps. So mo to siya no, make the invisible visible. So like na mga butang nga dili siya kanang dili makita sa public, so murag ilarasang murag wala rasad nila bisag alarming na jud kaayo, alarming na siya ba. So mo na siya nga murag para sa ato as young people, murag and especially karon sa gamit sa different social media, we can use that as a tool nga murag ang mga tao is ma-alarm sila ba or ma-inform sila nga mo na siya hitabo, like for example, like kanang sa mga kanang grabe na jud kayo magsigig sunog or mga grabe na pagputol sa trees, like ang mga tao is wala sila na nakaibaw ba nga na mga situation or na mga happenings nga mainana ba. So mo na siya nga through us or through sa ato ang pagka digital literate, so murag magamit sa nato siya ang social media platforms para ma-inform ang mga tao sa kalibutan nga na inana nga excuse me, na inana nga nahitabo. So make the invisible visible. So fourth is the anticipate unintended consequences. Teachers can teach students strategies for anticipating unintended consequences, a damaging impact on the environment or human health. Precautionary action should be taken. Another strategy is to shift from analyzing a problem by reducing its isolated components to adapting a systems thinking perspective that examines connections and relationships among various components of the problem. So mo to siya no, usa dapat sa i-promote nato or to murag i-inject sa atong students or sa young people that prevention is better than murag inanang idea ba, prevention is better than cure. So murag precaution is very vital good siya. Like we should not take everything for granted gani, like murag na pa man na siya, so murag so okay na gamiton na lang niya, magpasagad na lang. So wala siya no, like as much as possible or as early as possible, like murag magunahon na gyud ta nga unsay mga possible nga mga hitabo, especially if negative ang atong action. So dako kaayo chance nga negative gyud siya ang result. So mo na siya nga anticipate unintended consequence. So mo na siya nga kung unsa ang imong gitanong mao sad siya ang bunga. So you have to be cautious gyud sa ato ang mga actions, especially sa ato ang Mother Earth, which kanang negative. And lastly, they understand how nature sustains life. So eco-literate people recognize that nature has sustained life for long. That resulted to turning to nature when their teachers imbibed 3 crucial tenets to eco-literate living. So as a future educator, dako jud kayo taog kanang konsed no, kanang moral rule to inject to our students that eco-literacy is very important para mabalance ang ato ang ecosystem. So as a future teacher, we should give our students knowledge on how to preserve life and understand how nature sustains life. So I think that ends my part. So thank you for listening, everyone, and good day.
Good day, classmates. Good day, ma'am. I am Kisshe Leonor Villegas, and for the continuation of our topic, which is the eco-literacy or the ecological literacy, I will be going to tackle about towards a green school and education for sustainable environment. Schools play a great role in the development of academics, but also environmental ethics and care for nature among students. So yes, teachers or in schools, teachers not just teach us students only for the development of our academics or to focus only on lectures, but we are also taught some things na makatabang sa atuang nature. The school environment therefore should encourage, support, and nurture students' capabilities or capacities on green environment as integrated in the curriculum and instruction. So yes, it is already integrated in the curriculum that schools should encourage and support the students so that we can help sustain our environment. As what we can recall, during high school, naatay mga movement like tree plantings and etc. for us to engage in helping our environment. And also, during our first year college, naatay subjects like CWTS, wherein naay mga tree plantings, coastal cleanups, cleanup drives, and etc. With that, we can help the environment. This will allow them to connect with their surroundings and attend to their health and safety needs while motivating them to learn and imbibe a sense of belongingness and sensitivity towards the school, society, and even this planet. So by that, we are not just studying, but we can contribute a lot to our environment. Kumbaga, we are hitting two birds at one stone. Environmental issues and concerns can be effectively addressed when all efforts of staff and students are geared toward adopting environmentally sustainable principles at all levels, from planning and decision-making to their execution in the schools, functioning as part of the daily routine, such as creating a green school. So no, if we students can contribute to make our environment a safe place to live in, then it is easy for us to address such issues concerning our environment. With the help of others or the teachers and other staff in the school, we can create a green school. Now, let us move on to green school, the concept and background. The concept of green school was introduced in Europe, and this was in 1990s, while the Rio Earth Summit of 1992 took cognizance of the need to take action in every area in which human impacts in the environment. So, no, during this year, they start tackling about climate change. So, they also tackled kung unsay mga kinahanglan nga buhaton to solve such environmental issues. So, the World Summit on Sustainable Development, or WSSD, in Johannesburg in 2002 catalyzed the efforts to bring about a shift and educating about the environment to educating for sustainability. So, this shift reflected the international climate of thinking about sustainable development that meets the needs of the present without compromising future generations to meet their own needs. There was a continuous misuse and abuse of natural resources in quest for development that would tend the future to be at stake. Hence, we need a deeper understanding and action to respond to environmental issues and challenges that our Earth is confronted with. So as we can see, naadyoy mga tao nga giabusaran lang atong environment. So by that, we need a deeper understanding, and that's why gitudluan ta sa school to respond to environmental issues and challenges that our Earth face. So here now we can really see how important for us to be eco-literate. Recognizing education as a critical means to achieve sustainability, the United Nations launched the Decade of Education for Sustainable Development, or the DESD, in 2005. So, this is to integrate principles, values, practices of sustainable development into all aspects of education and learning in order to encourage behavior that will create a more sustainable future in terms of environmental integrity, economic viability, and a just society for present and future generations. That is according to UNESCO 2005. A key objective of the UNDESD is to foster better quality teaching and learning for ESD. This calls for reorientation of thinking and practices of formal education, including teaching, learning approaches, and assessments.
So that's it for my part. I hope you guys learn from it. Now I will give you to the next reporter, Miss Kianmae Derder.
Good Morning, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. For today's lesson, I will be discussing about the Green School and ESD. School play a great role in development of academics, but also environment ethics and care for natures among students. What is Green School? A Green School is defined as a learning institution that takes a whole of institution approach to education for sustainable development, or the ESD, in particular by addressing the climate change through its teaching, facilities and operations, school governance and community partnership. Education for sustainable development allows every human being as a being to acquire the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values necessary to shape the sustainable futures. And also in Green School, it aimed to promote the knowledge and skill for social, economic, cultural, and environmental aspect for sustainable development. Green School and ESD. The Green School is visualized as the school guided by the principles of environmental sustainability. It seeks to create the conducive environment to fully utilize all the resources and opportunities inside and outside the schools, and orient teachers and students on environmental sustainability through the active involvement of the community. It demands ongoing, continuous, and synergetic effort for all stakeholders toward improving the environmental of the schools and its surroundings. So, in essence of the Green School, it compares the eco-friendly practices while education for sustainable development. It focuses on embedding the sustainability principles into the educational process. So, kung ato lang tawon no, together, they contribute the created environmental conscious and social responsible citizens. Combining the Green School's approach with the educational for sustainable development, it creates an education's environmental na dili lang siya na embodied sa sustainable practices, but also no, it equips sa mga students with the tools to understand, address, and contribute to the global sustainability challenges. It nurtures of generation for environmentally conscious and social responsible individuals. And also no, to orient po ang mga teachers and students in environmental sustainability through the active involvement sa community. Ang mga student through learning experiences gawa sa classroom is makatabang sa ilaha to consolidate and apply knowledge and gain understanding on environmental process, interrelationship, and issues, and also no makatabang po siya to foster the attitudes, values, and sensitivity toward the environment. So now let's discuss the essential aspect of Green School environment. Green School, Green schools not only provide a healthier and more conducive learning environments, but also play a crucial role in shaping future generations into the environmentally responsible citizen. The greenness of a school find expression in a various aspects of the environment. The green school has a clean, healthy, productive, and green surroundings. It also promotes both physical and psychosocial health of learners and others in school, ensure a healthy prevention of health services such as nutritional supplementations and counseling, safe drinking water, net and clean classroom, playgrounds, and safe learning environment with the healthy practices, a school free of drugs, corporal punishment, and harassment, and brings children closer to nature and involves them in taking care of it. So no, this involves the maintaining the cleanliness through ensuring the proper waste disposals and promoting a little free campus. So diri na tudloan ng mga students kanang mag reduce waste, reuse resources, and recycle materials. And also no, this could involve conservations of efforts through tree planting and strategies to reduce the ecological footprint. So diri no ang mga teachers ba is mag-organize ba sila tree planting days at school no, tuluan ng mga bata kung unsa ka importante ang mga kahoy to our environment. And creating and maintaining the green spaces with the school campus no, this not only enhances the aesthetic appeal but also contributes to a positive atmosphere and provides the opportunity for outdoor activities. A green school adheres the following preserves. So we have here three. So first is learning about the environment, second, learning through the environment, and third, learning for the environment. So number one, learning about the environment, it focuses mainly on acquisitions of knowledge and understanding of the surroundings and related issues. So certainly no, in a green school, the emphasis of learning about the environment involves acquiring knowledge and understanding of the surroundings and related issues. So this means no, ang mga estudyante is nag-engage in comprehensive studies kanang mga about sa mga natural world, mga ecosystem, or kanang biodiversity and environmental challenges. So through ani no na ay mga learnings and ang mga students, and also awareness no of interconnectedness between the human activities and the environment. So fostering a sense of responsibility for sustainable practices and environmental stewardship. So no, this educational approach aims nga ma-empower ang mga students with the informations and skill needed to make informed decisions that positively impact the environment. So Second is learning through the environment. So it refers to the processes of learning while being engaged with environment inside and outside the classroom. So it emphasizes idea that education intends beyond textbooks and lectures. So encouraging individuals to absorb knowledge through direct experiences, observations, and interactions with the diverse elements of their surroundings. So of course no kita through man po sa ato environment, so daghan po tag mga ideas and information nga makuha sa ato surroundings, and most especially no kanang mag-activity kita outside sa atong classroom. So then no ang activity is related siya sa nature. So daghan kayo kita yung mga realizations and informations nga ana di ay na siya. So and also no inside the classroom it may involve hands-on activity like kanang mga practical demonstrations and real world applications of concepts. So while sa outside sa classroom is learning through kanang mga environment, extended experiences in natures, kanang mga community settings and other real world context. So this holistic learning approach no aims to connect the theoretical knowledge with practical experiences and fostering a deeper understanding and retentions of information. So ito siya ang number 2. And then last aims of developing an informed response and responsibility towards the environment beyond acquisitions of skills and knowledge. So no learning for the environment also involves cultivating deep appreciations for the interconnectedness of ecosystem and the impact of human activities on the planet. So this approach goes beyond simply learning about the environmental issues and solutions. So through ani we learned not only sa mga environmental issues but also atuluan po ta unsa nga mga solutions or unsa nga mga actions ang angay nato buhaton nga ma-prevent nga kana nga mga nagalain nga issues. So it encourage individuals to actively engage in making positive contributions and decisions that benefit the environment. So the goal is to develop a holistic understanding and proactive attitude toward the environmental sustainability.
So hi guys, so let's continue. So for today, let's talk all about how the green or how we understand the green curriculum. So for curriculum to be green, it must include 5 aspects. So there are 5 aspects to consider to understand green curriculum. So the first one is environment is encompassing multidisciplinary and dynamic scientific, economic, social, political, and technological dimension. So indeed, ang environment is intricate and spanning scientific realms like ecosystem and biodiversity, social aspects influencing human well-being, economic dimensions affecting resources, political factors shaping policies, and technological contributions to both harm and aid environmental sustainability. So this multidisciplinary and dynamic nature underscore the complexity of addressing environmental challenges comprehensively. So the second aspect to understand green curriculum is being holistic. A green curriculum views environment as all that is around and aims to give a better understanding of the way the world functions, its operation, its alteration because of the actions of human race and its consequences. So a green curriculum embraces a holistic perspective, perceiving the environment as everything surrounding us. So its goal is to enhance comprehension of global operation, how they are influenced by human actions and the resulting consequences. So this approach fosters a comprehensive understanding of the interconnectedness between the natural world and human activities, and also promoting environmental consciousness and responsible stewardship. So the third aspect is it holistically addresses sustainability concerns such as protection and conservation of natural resources, traditions, culture, and heritage, safety and security, physical and emotional assurance, health and sanitation issues, concerns for equity and justice, and interconnection between and among natural, social, physical, and cultural environment. So a holistic approach to sustainability no involves addressing a spectrum of concerns including the protection and conservation of natural resources, preservation of traditions, cultures, and heritage, ensuring safety and security, providing physical and emotional assurance. So this comprehensive perspective aims to create a balanced and resilient foundation for a sustainable future. So the fourth aspect is this requires a teaching learning approach where students are provided time and space to explore different phases of environment and interconnect them. So absolutely nga ang teaching learning approach that allows students time and space to explore diverse phases of the environment and understand their interconnections. So is vital so this experiential learning promotes a deeper, comprehensive, and of environmental complexities, fostering a sense of responsibility and encouraging sustainability practices among students. So the last aspect is a green curriculum is a mutual concern of teachers and students. So sakto na. So a green curriculum fosters a mutual concern among teachers and students So it encourages collaboration and shared responsibility in understanding and addressing environmental issues. So by engaging both educators and students or learners, it creates a collective commitment to environmental awareness, sustainability, and the broader implication of human actions on the planet. So we're done understanding the green curriculum. So now let's create a green school. So a green school is a school that creates a healthy environment conducive to learning while saving energy and environmental resources and also save money. So there are three to consider in creating green schools. So first is reduces environmental impacts and costs. Of course, designing a green school involves incorporating eco-friendly materials, energy efficient system, and sustainable practices, reducing both environmental impacts and a long-term operational cost. So the second one is to improve occupants' health and performance in creating a green school. So a green school with its emphasis on good inducive air quality, natural light, and green spaces so contributes to improve health and enhance performance among occupants and creating a conducive environment for learning and well-being of the learners and also the educators. The third one is increases environmental and sustainability literacy in creating a green school. So integrating environmental education into the curriculum of a green school fosters increased environmental and sustainability literacy among students. So it nurture the generation with a heightened awareness and commitment to eco-friendly practices. So that's all for my part. So I hope you understand and thank you.
Characteristics of a green school. Green, healthy, and high-performing are the characteristics of a green school that provides many benefits to students, teachers, parents, and the community at large. First, it protects health. Schools built with more lighting, better ventilation, and healthy green building materials and paints are healthier for students and staff. Second, it increases student performance. Student test scores can improve up to 20% when students learn in green classrooms. Third, it saves energy and money. Operating costs for energy and water in a green school can be reduced by 20% to 40%. Next, it reduces carbon emissions. Green schools significantly reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Fifth, it reduces water usage. On an average, a green school reduces water usage by 32% that has direct savings for the building. It improves teacher retention. A green school can reduce teacher turnover by as much 5%, which improves student learning and school community and can result in financial savings for the school. 7. It improves daily attendance. It reduces absenteeism by 15%. It provides a unique educational opportunity. Schools can become teaching tools and important features of science, math, and environmental curriculum with green features. Advanced technology and design in schools are used to motivate students about learning real-world applications of green technologies and using schools and schoolyards as living laboratories. Next, it creates green jobs. Investing in creating green schools is an investment in green jobs, including green construction, building product manufacturing, and green architecture. And lastly, it improves equity. Greening public schools creates an opportunity to improve the health and educational settings for all students. So next is the Dark Green School Program, Philippine Environmental Perspective. A dark green school or DGS is a school that delivers environmental education through assimilation of the environmental philosophy by the students in formal lessons, as well as in activities outside the classrooms. So, accordingly, schools must A. Be clean and net as evidence of good management and housekeeping. Next, call for green spaces, appropriate land use, planning conservation, materials and energy, waste management, segregation, use of appropriate materials and avoidance of harmful ones and respect to others, right to smoke-free air. And lastly, have management policies and guidelines that would create a healthful and ecological campus. And that would be all. Thank you.
Continuation dark green school program. So D. Have well-planned environmental curriculum for all levels, adequately oriented and trained faculty, and administrative, library, and financial support. So here, developing a comprehensive environmental curriculum for all levels requires collaboration with educators, experts, and stakeholders. So next is letter A. Have faculty and students who are aware of and appreciate the environmental program of the school. So here, it is very important to know and appreciate our environment in school. Next, F. Reach out to an outside community to spread concern for Mother Earth and facilitate projects and programs that improve the environment. So, not just in school. In outside also, we need to spread concern for our Mother Earth to improve our environment. Next is G. So, engage in research that adds knowledge in the ways of nature and the impact of human activities. So, human as we are, it is very important to have knowledge in the ways of nature on how we protect our environment. Of green schools. First is environmental and economic sustainability. So it means taking care of our planet while also ensuring our economic thrives. We need to be responsible citizens who cares about both environment and economy. Next is the reputation as a leader through example. So as a leader, you need to be an example to everyone. Manage environment, rules and regulations, greening initiatives provides them opportunities to practice what they preach and what their mark as environmental leaders. Next is economic benefits. So, economic benefits refers to the positive outcomes and advantages that results from your various economic activities. So this can include increased job opportunities, higher income levels, and improved standard living. So next is real life work experience for your students. So it is crucial for their practical skill development. Consider internships, job shadowing. So this exposure helps students apply school, classroom knowledge in a professional setting and fostering skills like teamwork. And lastly, improve quality of life in the campus. So, enhancing the quality of life on campus involves creating a positive and supportive environment for students. So, a green campus is a cleaner, safer, and healthier place to live and work. So that's all, and thank you.